All right. What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I'm coming to you on the Stevie Breach channel. Just yesterday, me and my buddy Jeremy, we made a good video up on his channel, the Rock and Knowles channel. We went live for about an hour covering this big weekend's extravaganza of wrestling. We talked all about the WWE's Great American Bash. We talked about Saturday night's main event. We talked about All Out. I gave a lot of thoughts about WWE's evolution. I thought I'd check back in on my channel today, just go over Saturday night's main event. I honestly feel like this show, even though it's not extravaganza, it's not a WrestleMania like event here on NBC. It's still on NBC, which is a big deal because that is here in Sacramento, California. It's KCRA Channel 3. It's like the main place I go when like the stuff's going down and you want to know what's going down in the world. It's kind of like where I go, even though I don't really trust the news all that much. But I think NBC to me, I'm not sure 100%, but when I was growing up, it was like must-see television with Seinfeld, Friends. Basically, all of the best shows were on NBC. And for WWE to work its way back into pop culture to the point where, we're running what's on NBC again, honestly, I think that's a pretty damn cool thing. But you really look at how WWE is trying to counter program against AEW with All In, with them basically trying to run their own show. It's honestly it's kind of crazy. On one point, they worked their way into being on NBC, but you can tell by looking at this card they're kind of punting. Like they're trying their best to make sure that WWE fans don't watch AEW. But there might be CM Punk, but he's not booked on this card. There's no Roman Reigns. There's no Cody Rhodes. The biggest stars from WWE are not featured on this show. I apologize to Drew McIntyre. I apologize to Randy Orton. But they're kind of the biggest names, the biggest household names booked on this show. Seth Rollins has a match, but it's against LA Knight. And you could even say that LA Knight is not even the biggest competitor in Seth Rollins' world right now. You're thinking if with Seth Rollins holding the Money in the Bank, he can't have a main event championship every night. But I mean, Seth Rollins' main feud in WWE is CM Punk. And if it's not CM Punk, it's Roman Reigns because he keeps bringing him up on each and every episode of Monday Night Raw when he's in the ring delivering a promo, talking about how much better he is or bringing up how, they used to be together in the Shield. It just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They almost like put this whole show together just to give Goldberg his last match in WWE, almost to kind of get him to stop talking about WWE. Goldberg, he did a lot of interviews leading up to this, and a lot of them really weren't positive about the state of WWE. I can remember one whether if he preferred working under Vince McMahon or if he preferred working under Triple H. Goldberg just flat out came out and said, like, well, the old man promised me one last match, and the guy running the place now never gave it to me. And for that to be like not a planned response to try and like draw out that like maybe he knew that the match was coming, but he needed to like pull on the storyline that he was just going to show up on Gunther one day. It didn't make a whole lot of a sense, especially with how WWE as a whole, minus the Hall of Fame, doesn't really mention Vince McMahon at all. And besides for that, Goldberg, At one point, it sounded like he was going to do his last match on the Indies, maybe against Ryback. It seemed that they were trying to put together something for Ryback and Goldberg to have a match in AEW. And when WWE gave Goldberg his last contract, it was almost because they didn't want him to go to AEW. I don't know how much Goldberg would have helped being under contract with them. You would have thought that even 4 years ago, Goldberg's probably only wrestling 4 matches a year. But then again, maybe they would have used him in pretty much the same way that they used Sting, and maybe that would have been huge. But I think it's awesome that Goldberg is getting this last match in WWE. I do believe that I wish that Goldberg's last match would have been in WWE like 2 years ago. He had the big match against Roman Reigns. He came up short. He showed up on Raw. He said that he needed to go back and he needed to train, retool, get back to up to 100%, and that he thought he could beat Roman and give it one more shot. If that match was 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the road, that would have made a whole lot more of a sense. But I remember just being like a year later and being like, is Goldberg ever coming back? Like that's pretty weird that they let him go out there and pretty much say that he wasn't retiring and he wanted to give it one more go round. And they're just not going to give him the match. Goldberg versus Gunther is probably the best match that they could give him for one last run. Some people are complaining that Gunther is the world heavyweight champion, and maybe they shouldn't have put the championship on Gunther at the last Gunther versus Jey Uso match. And some people even draw the story of Triple H is the reason why they're doing that, because he wanted this match to be a world heavyweight championship match because they needed as much focus on how big of a Saturday night's main event this is because it was going up against AEW. I don't think the war between AEW and WWE is that strong to the point that people are really putting championships on people and doing championship changes and changes bookings just to make people not watch AEW's All In. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I look at Goldberg's shirt and it says Goldberg's last ride. To me, Goldberg's last ride is not one last match. Do I think he's winning this? No way. But it would make a whole hell of a lot of sense if Goldberg was to have one more match, whether that was at like SummerSlam, and then they got to close the door that way a month later down the road. I really don't know how they do it there, but the show I believe runs for an hour and a half. They only have 3 matches planned as of right now: Goldberg versus Gunther, LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. We got Drew McIntyre going against Randy Orton. I was watching Brandon Hodges' video the other day, and he made a pretty good point in his prediction video that he thought that maybe Dom versus AJ could get added day of. Basically, where the storyline on Monday Night Raw is that Dom keeps showing Adam Pearce a doctor's note saying that he has an injury and that he is actually not able to wrestle. The first night we saw AJ put on the old man Benjamin Franklin glasses. I have glasses. I'll tell you the truth. I have no clue where they are. I have no clue when the last time I saw them or wore them. I lost them flat out. I thought I lost the last pair. And I got a new pair once my 1 year with my insurance came up, and I found the other pair. So I think I have to start wearing the old pair again. But then basically Dom showed up last week. He gave Dom a get well soon cake. And then he appeared, in the back of the Judgment Day Clubhouse set where he was looking at him and he gave him the good old, I see you, a lot like Meet the Parents with Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller back in the day. And maybe AJ maybe AJ can steal the doctor's note. So when Adam Pearce presses Dom, like, hey, we're going to have this match tonight. And Dom tries to get out of it, but doesn't have the doctor's note. Maybe that's how we lead to the one-on-one of Dom versus AJ. Maybe Dom just accidentally gets cleared. He's trying to tell him that his heart hurts ever since Liv left, and he's not able to do it. The doc's like, hey, this chick left a month ago. You got to get over this, man. Yeah, especially with Roxanne in that locker room giving you the eyes the way that she is. So maybe that could set up Dom versus AJ. I think that's a damn good idea for the Intercontinental Championship. I do like the Judgment Day having all of the gold in WWE. They have the men's Raw Tag Team Championships. They have the Raw tag championships. I do think that they are going to lose them at Evolution. I think the team of Charlotte and Alexa Bliss is just too strong. I think the storyline is for them to retain the gold, basically keep it for a while, and then probably drop it and feud somewhere later down the road. The only other match that I think is a long shot, and some people think that I take a lot of long shots, or I believe in conspiracy theories or things like that along the way. Monday Night Raw, we had Sami Zayn coming down to the ring. He had already been attacked, hit with a lead pipe by Karrion Kross the week before. And now here he is attacked yet once again. But Sami crawls his way to the ring, gets into it. He has Adam Pearce as well as other agents trying to beg him not to have this match. And he basically says that he's in the ring. He's ready to go. He's a man. He wants to fight his fight. He goes out there and he gets destroyed by Braun Breaker. And later on in the night, we have Braun. We have Paul Heyman, we have Seth Rollins sitting in the locker room, and Paul Heyman comes in and tells him that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely. They have gotten rid of the Sami Zayn problem that they have been trying to get rid of since the night after WrestleMania 41. So now Braun Breaker pretty much sounds like he has planned all of his attacks on the Karrion Kross, wondering, if people will think that he has Karrion, fighting his fights and he doesn't need him, so he's going to go after him. But what would happen if, Sami Zayn shows up to Saturday night's main event and doesn't want to be out indefinitely? He's all taped up. He's got his ribs all taped up like Diamond Dallas Page in WCW. And, he's begging for a match to the point where he just attacks Karrion Kross himself. And we have like a backstage brawl of him and Karrion Kross just going at it, and Karrion Kross, yelling at Sami Zayn that he wants to hear him say it. He wants to hear the truth, that he knows it. I believe that Sami Zayn is going to come out as being a heel. He's not going to be a real bad guy. I think that he's more than likely going to make a mistake, and it's going to be a bad decision that he makes for himself that hurts somebody else. I don't know if they're going to stretch this out all the way to War Games in San Diego, where he makes some sort of thing that hurts the good guys, and he has like Cody, Jey Uso, and the rest of the crew all looking at him like, "Hey, what the hell? I thought you were with me." But it would have been fun if Sammy won the Money in the Bank, and then maybe he just had an opportunity where he wanted to be champion, and then he cashed in against Jey Uso, and everybody took that as him being a bad guy. And he's like, "I'm not a bad guy. I just want to be a champion." I thought that would have been a really good storyline, but the one that they're cooking up has to be better than that one. That's going to be longer. I believe in WWE's long-term booking, that I think that it's going to be good, but them saying Sammy is out indefinitely means that he's probably going to be out for a while. They got a plan for something, but I think it would be cool if he showed up at Saturday night's main events and just started attacking people and just going ham in the back. It honestly would be fun.